Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So for today's video we are celebrating Anzac Day, so if you want to see how I made this beautiful poppy themed week, then just keep watching. Okay, so I need to admit something. I made a mistake, and that's because the plan that I had for my Anzac week, I kind of used a little bit here, not realizing that Anzac Day was next Sunday. I don't know why I thought it was Monday. So I thought this week would be not stamp related because I wasn't using my poppies. But then I realized it was on Sunday. So I'm changing up what I had planned. I still want to use that stamp set. I'm just going to use it in a slightly different way. So what I'm going to do first off is just white out the April at the top, because I'm going to use some of this absolutely gorgeous poppy washi tape from Hobby Hoppers. It is absolutely perfect for this. So my theme for Anzac Day this year is really just poppies. I'm just going poppy crazy. So there's going to be lots of red and lots of poppies. So I'm going to put this along the bottom and the top of both pages, and then just go ahead and cut off the excess. How good do those poppies look? So at the bottom, I just put straight from the bottom and just left it. On the top, I just went from my line and just cut off the excess, which there's a little bit of white excess on the top, so that worked really well. Okay, for the days, before I pull in the stamps, because I am going to use the stamps, but for the days, I want them to be red, and I don't have any plain red washi tape. All I've got is this red spots, which still works, so it's not going to be a problem. So what I'm going to do is grab my healing mat, which I just put off my desk. Because I want them all to be the same length. I'm also just grabbing my craft knife and my little ruler. You could use your washi cutter for this. I just want it to have a nice clean edge today, so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I'm going to put these down. I think the longest I'll need is Thursday and Wednesday. So that's 3. And that would cover with 3. So I'm going to cut these to 3 centimeters each. So rather than doing that over and over and over again, I'm going to put them all down at once. I'm just going to line up all my washies and then cut them all. There's going to be a little bit of wastage here. If you wanted to be really careful, you obviously could. You could cut these or be a bit more, this is the word I'm looking for, frugal with your washi tape. I think that's the right word anyway. So I'm just going to do 5 to start with. And the good thing is, because this mat already has the squares, I don't actually have to measure this. So I'm just cutting all of them. Now, because this washi it's not quite opaque enough, I'm just going to go over the top of the day. And then I'll do this first one so you guys can see, and then from there I'll go ahead and do them all quickly. Just grab my tweezers. Line that up just right on the edge. I haven't quite got the whole of the M. That's okay though, because you're not going to see it anyway. And then I'll cover them up. I'm going to use I want to use it's basically the exact same font, and I'm just putting it down over the top. So they've got Monday, and it's going to be the 19th. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it's just going to look just like that. I'm going to continue that all the way down the page and on the other side as well. I might actually move that Monday over just a little bit. It's sort of a bit too to the left. Good thing is whenever you put a sticker down on washi, it's generally going to come up pretty easily. We got there. I love that red. I love that red. And we're going to continue the red. So rather than having all the poppies all over the page like I was planning, I'm going to have a couple of big ones. So I'm going to stamp out those poppies onto some white cardboard. I'm doing it on cardboard. I don't need to do it on, actually no, we'll do it on paper. I know cardboard works, but I'll do it on just normal white paper. It doesn't matter, like, because we're going to be sticking it onto something, it's not going to matter really what we stick it down on. So we'll grab the flowers. Now I kind of have done myself up a bit of a guide so that they sit still. So these are all three of the big kind of elements of this. I think that might be the wrong way. Yeah, it is. So I'm just going to stick these down. So this is in my Misty tool. A stamp positioner makes this easier. It's not necessary, but it makes it easier. Actually, I don't really need the guide. The guide's more when I'm being really particular, when I'm cutting it out. I have been using these to make Mother's Day cards, so I'm a little bit... have been a little bit pedantic with it. I don't mind actually if these come off a little bit messy. They actually look really cool when they're a little bit messy. I'm not so worried about that. It's just they don't cut out of the die as nicely if they are a bit messy, but that's alright. So I'm just sticking this into the corner. Do try and keep these magnets apart. Now I'm going to be using some Distress ink today. I have found, so I've been playing. If you remember back to the Distress Ink v Distress Oxide video I did, I said you shouldn't stamp with these. That's actually not true. It's just that when I did it, I tried to do it with a really intricate stamp and that didn't work so well. But when you're doing it with this big kind of bulky stamp, it seems to work a bit better. Now I'm doing this in a rubbing pattern because it gives this nice sort of watercolory kind of effect. So this is Abandoned Coral, just in the Distress Ink like I said. So I'm going to stamp that down, giving it a really good push. Where did I put my cloth? I just find the cloth gives me a nice kind of finish there. So I'm just pulling that up. So you see how it kind of got that watery effect? So I'm going to do 4 of these because that way while I've got each of them out, and if I need to do any more I'll do them afterwards. So we're just going to spin these round each time, and if I've lined it up right, A, they shouldn't hit, and B, if I line this bit up, then the next bit should be fine. So we'll do the same thing again. So like I said, that's Abandoned Coral. It's the lighter of my 2 red inks. this up first and then I'll pick it up with the door of my Misty. So we'll just line this up in here. Like I said, it's actually really easy to line up once you know what you're looking for. And I've stamped a couple of these now, so I kind of know where they go. Make sure again that the magnets have this in the right spot. And then I'm coming in with Barn Door, which is a slightly darker red. This one I'm pushing, not rubbing. It doesn't really matter. Because it's a bit less of a surface area, it doesn't really matter this one, but I just like to dab this one. Straight down. Now this is pigment ink, so it will dry back a little bit. It'll look really bold now, but it will dry back just a bit, so we won't panic about the colour too much. And we'll just spin it around and we'll do the same thing on the other side. We don't need to line it up because the Misty's done that for us. Oh, how good is that? Seriously. Alright, the next layer on here is the small little bit. So if you remember when I did the walkthrough of this, if you were watching that one, I kind of messed that up a little bit. I nearly lost a piece. It was a whole big pain in the butt. Generally not good. So I like to do this bit by hand or by, like just with one of these ones. It's just a bit easier. So I work on, there's 3 bits for the big one and then there's just 1 bit for the little one. So I like to use my VersaFine here because I'm not going on to anything that it particularly matters. It's not an issue if it goes through the paper is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I'm being a bit icky. So I've got peeled paint ink, I've got hickory smoke, hickory smoke, and then I've got my VersaFine. So this first big kind of round bit, that goes in the grey. You can see it just goes straight on there. The next bit goes down in the black, just goes in the middle of that. I'm not worried at all if I kind of miss a spot. I like that look. And then the very last bit is this little mini bit here, and that goes down in the green. I was going to try and be clever, but I'm not. So cool. So I'm going to do the same thing with the other one, and then I'm going to do the other 2 poppies as well. The other 2 poppies only have 2 bits, so we just miss out the green for that one. So it's not particularly different or difficult. And if you do mess it up like I did there, it's not a bad thing. Like it's not, it kind of adds to the overall imperfection of it. It's kind of cool. I like the imperfect. We're going to keep that VersaFine out, and that's because we're going to do the outline. Now I do have a tip that I'm just going to show you, but that I'm not going to do in this because I don't want to add it. This video is going to go on long enough, I reckon. So I was playing with my mink ink. Oh, there we go. And you can see I've just done this outline in gold. The one that looks amazing is actually the stem here. And that's just done with mink ink. If you don't know what mink ink is, I will link the video down below so you can check it out. Very, very clever. It does take a little bit of time to master. Once you've got it down though, it's so worth it and it's so awesome. So I'm just lining this last one up. We're going to do this just in VersaFine. It doesn't necessarily have to be exactly perfect because I like the imperfection of the lines not quite lining up. So I'm just patting that lightly because I don't want to oversaturate this paper. Oh, how good does that look? I love this stamp set. Like, I love it. It's so good. And we'll do the exact same thing here on the other side. And this is where, if you didn't get the stamping exactly right of the bits in the middle, this kind of hides it, so you don't have to panic so much about it. So really light little push. See how that's kind of not quite in the right spot, but I think that looks really cool even though it's kind of missed. I think that's really cool. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and cut these out with the matching dies and I'll be right back. poppies here. Oh my god, aren't they just the most stunning things? And I'm just going to have them down the side. Actually, I'm kind of debating putting one of them right in the middle there. Maybe we do that. I did also go ahead and cut out a couple of the stems. I don't know if I'm going to use them. I kind of was umming and ahhing and thinking I wouldn't. It just kind of doesn't look quite right with the stem. I'm actually going to do something a bit weird. I'm just going to try and cut this actual stem bit because I don't really want the leaves. I just want the stem. But I want it in just black and white. I don't want any colour. So I could colour these in with Copics, but I'm not going to. Maybe just for this side, I'm just gonna, that's better. That looks good. So I'm just gonna stick them down. So just with glue. Just with glue. Just with glue and a bit of scrap paper. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. I'm still using my glue tape. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I put up a little note saying that Officeworks are discontinuing these. So if you have a glue tape that you use and that you love, can you please let me know what it is? Because I don't have a replacement for this glue tape. I don't have anything else that will work. So I need to find something. So if you have an idea, if you have something that does work and you know works, please let me know. I might actually, for this other one, I might actually draw in a stem because it's too far out for the other one to work. So just stick it down. Just sort of sit here like that. I'm just avoiding the holes because I don't want to have to plug them up. And I'm going to do it in pencil first just to make sure that it works. And I can rub it out if I need to. So I'm just really not quite that shape. I was really light-handed there, so you barely notice it. I'm actually going to come down. I'm a horrible drawer, you guys know that, so I'm not getting what I want. So I'm just going to leave that for now and I'll come back to it in a second if I want to. Someone I'm sure saw that and went, Ashley, what are you doing? This is going to be fun because there's a lot of glue there. And because it's on paper, it's going to be even harder to get up. So I'm just being really gentle. It should come up. The only reason I say that we're going to have trouble is because it had glue on the back and then I had glue on this paper as well. So it could pull on me. Annoyingly too, this was the really good one. Oh. Whew. That was lucky. That was very, very, very lucky. But this is why I love this glue tape. It gives me that much. Alright, so we had, this one was coming down from the top here. This one I'm just going to have a bit more. Actually, I'm going to put this one on that side and leave this one. I'm actually going to put it right over on the edge. I didn't even put any more glue on that. That's just exactly where it was. I'm going to pick this one up and try and put this little bit underneath it. We know that glue tape's got a bit of give, so it allows me to do things like this. That was what I was trying to do from the beginning. And then we'll just cut off the excess. Alright. Oh, damn, those poppies are gorgeous. Part of me wants to put some red specks on this. I don't know if that'll work. I think that'll, I don't know, I think I'm pushing it. And I'm very aware of how long this video has been, but I really wanted to show you guys the stamping because it's just stunning. I am going to put in, I have a bunch of appointments and stuff, so I've grabbed my Lillian Lion. These are my new ones. These are just the doctor's ones because we do now have a lot of doctor's appointments with little Charlie. I tried to do both at the same time. So I'm going to put both of these in here. Actually, I have an idea. So one of these is for the doctors. The other one's going to be for the physio, which I was really hoping I had a little exercise one. I do. I'm going to put the little running guy. So that sort of does one for each. We then also have a maternal child health nurse appointment. So I'm going to use this little one here with the nurse. That's on Wednesday. I feel like I have something else on next week, but I don't know what it is. Oh, I just saw that and saw that those two kind of line up. I wonder. No, too much. Way too much. I'm going to write those in really quick, just in black pen. And then we can have one more look at this and see if we need to add anything else. The last thing I want to do, and part of me really wants to do it and the other part of me really doesn't, is I want to stamp Lest We Forget in this corner because I just feel like it needs it. So this is my Lawn Fawn Jessie's ABCs. I like the thinness of it. So I'm just going to spell out Lest We Forget just on here first. Don't know yet if we're going to use it. Thankfully, they're not really long words, so I'm just having a look, and then I'll decide if I want to do this properly. Those up is a slight pain in the ass, but I will say that Lawn Fawn stamps make it a much easier process because they all line up. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, so this is where I get very nervous. I want to do the forget because then I can line up the rest. If I do, done now, can't change it. Here we go, and then I'll do the Lest We above it. Other suggestion I have, if you're going to do it with an acrylic block, which obviously I've just done, do it with one that has a line on it somewhere, and that way you can line it up on the line. It makes it a lot easier. So I'm actually going to do the Lest next, and then I can put the We in the middle, and that way it's going to be centered. One day someone will make a stamp that says Lest We Forget, and I'll be really happy. If you know of one, please let me know. I know I'm only going to use it once or twice a year for Anzac Day and Remembrance Day, but for me that is so totally worth it. Oh, and the other really cool thing about Lawn Fawn stamps, so this whole Lest We Forget has been all done with all separate stamps. So I haven't had to pull one off to use it on another one. Oh, that looks so good. Because there are multiple of the T's and the S's and stuff, so that helps a lot. Go. I probably should have that up just a little bit higher, but anyway. Then we'll just do the We in the middle, and then we're done. I had to have it somewhere. I couldn't not put it there. It's a heck of a lot easier to stamp it than it was to do it with stickers. Probably even, I guess. But my handwriting's horrible, so we couldn't do it with handwriting. Well, maybe not beautiful, but pretty damn good. Alright, that's not what I dreamed it in my head when I had originally envisioned my Anzac week. It was very much more of the flowers. Slowly it sort of occurred to me that the way I wanted to do it was not going to work, and then I went and, messed it up and did that. But anyway, that was so worth it though. If you wanted to add just a little bit of zhuzh to this, like I said, the mink ink as an outline looks absolutely beautiful with a bit of gold foil. Red and gold look beautiful. These poppies aren't obviously just for Anzac Day. If you do want to get this set, I can highly recommend the Build-A-Flower. Any of them are great. The poppy's fantastic. Also looks great in other colours, and just to show you very quickly, that's one in pink, and it's just stunning. Lovely. And I don't like pink. I know I say that all the time, but I don't like pink. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this one. I know I sort of waffled on a little bit, so thank you for sticking with me if you have to this point. If you did enjoy this one, please give it a big old thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future videos from me. I will put a playlist down below of some of my other Anzac weeks because I do tend to go a little bit all out for Anzac. It's my big my big holiday. That's the one I like to decorate for, and I just think this one has not quite worked out the way I wanted, but I still do really, really like it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you again in my next video. Sending lots of huggles. Bye!